Hello and good evening, everyone. We did it. It's Sunday. Survived another week. Hope you all are doing well. I know I am. I have had a wonderfully relaxing weekend. Um, Arcavetti Academy. Hey, I'd like to catch up when you get the chance. Um, Not recognizing the name. Do we know each other by a different name? But yeah, if so, let me know. Shoot me an email. Oh, Violet. That would do it. That would do it. That would be the Violet. Okay, Violet. There you go. See, I knew there was something going on. Yeah, Violet. Reach out to me. Um, Either on working dragon mystic at gmail.com or Facebook if you're still on Facebook. Um, or the Gilded community. You can also join the Gilded community and get a hold of me there. That's honestly where I spend most of my time these days, mate. So reach out to me there, Violet. Hope you are doing well, by the way. All right, Maria, good to see you. Blue Star, welcome. Okay, so real quick before we get started, I have gotten like 6 emails this week asking where to sign up for courses and classes with me. First off, courses are online video courses at the online school, which can be found at workingdragonmystic.com. Those are where the online courses are. When we do live workshops, they're announced here, they're announced in the community section, they're announced over Gilded. So when we have those aren't a regular thing, especially since the move. But when we have them, they are also over at the school, and they are also announced through the school's email newsletters. So we always try to make sure to send out an email announcement to those who've opted in to email at the school to let them know that the live workshops will be coming when they're available. Since they are live, myself and Jade are very, very busy, and we both have been doing a lot in life. We haven't had any, I've not gotten started since the move. We're still winding down on that. But all the courses are over there. For those who are looking for the courses on YouTube, the YouTube's not the courses. The YouTube is, we share free knowledge here. We share information. We do share a lot of info here on the YouTube. But the school allows us to go into more in-depth detail and do things in the courses that we can't do on YouTube. Okay? Just so y'all know, I've gotten a few questions about that this week, so I wanted to make sure that was clear early in the video. But while we're here, also, if you want Working Dragon Mystic merchandise, coffee cups, tapestries, we actually have stickers, t-shirts, artwork of the dragon rulers. Again, at workingdragonmystic.com, you click the merch tab, it'll take you right there. Actually, now that I think about it, there should be a shelf below the videos. All of our videos should have it. I don't know if the live streams do until after upload, but the rest of the videos will. Yeah. So there's that. Also, speaking of the Gilded community, if you haven't joined it, check it out. It's a lot of fun. Jade, if you're here, please be here. Please, 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 because we all know I screwed up. Drop the link to the Gilded community here in the chat. Also, it is in the About section on the YouTube channel as well. And if for any reason you can't find it there or here and it don't work, email me, workingdragonmystic.com. That's our work email. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There we go. Am I forgetting anything? I probably am, but we'll get back around to it. Oh, yes, I am forgetting anything. So, y'all know I actually decided to support Outlaw Soaps because I just fell in love with them. I have been getting email after email after email about you guys having tried out those soaps and absolutely loving them. And for those emailing me asking me if I tried the limited scent, it's something about spring breeze or spring in the air, something like that. I'll be honest, I don't know it. I have not tried it. I have not. It's not time for me to put in a new order. Hopefully it's still there. I may actually just order it just to try it because you guys are asking. And apparently some of you have tried it and you said it's freaking amazing. So there's that. Any hootie. All right. Let's get into some of this. Hello, Baka. Good to see you. Creator, good to see you. Or it's the creators. It's the creators friend. Ashley, sending much love to. Hey, Ashley. Good to see you. Much love back to you, Catherine. Hello, good to see you. Zancox, welcome. Panama. Hey, nice. Just call me Drake. No need to do the mister. We're all pretty laid back here. And hello, Texas. Hello, welcome. Awesome. So, hopefully, you guys actually got to see the roundtable we released on Friday. That was a lot of fun. It was really great to get Bourne and Oscar in there with me and Jade to do a roundtable. I am wanting to get some more of the cryptid roundtables going. After we finished that recording, we did discuss some cryptids that we're hoping to get ready to present. And I'm actually looking at reaching out to Danny from Legion of Lilith about doing one of the cryptid roundtables with us. I know she was wanting to come in. Well, I was wanting her to come in, and she was willing to do it. So, Danny, if you're here, I only know exactly what we're going to do. So, hopefully, you'll enjoy it as much as we will. I'll get with you on that. Hopefully, we can make that work. Violet Star, good to see you. So, yeah, hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. That was actually a big one for me because people listening to understand the conversation and not just to respond has been an irritant for me. I thought it was just me for the longest time. I was like, God, I'm getting old. Everything's irritating. I'm going to end up being that guy, get off my yard. I was actually very, very, very happy and pleased to realize I'm not the only one noticing it. And there was a lot more on that. And I'm not as old as I was feeling. So that was fun. Angela, welcome. Everyone, sorry I'm late today. Remember, no trolling, be nice. Listen to Bob and Ace, save the clocks till the end of the stream and keep things PG. Angela is correct. I forgot to mention that as well. Thank you, Angela. I love your intros as always. Speaking of Bob and Ace, so many of the YouTube members who are signed up as paid YouTube members here on the channel. Many of you know we have a lot of members only emojis and stuff that we've put up. How we haven't thought of this before, but Maria kind of started it, but we're actually going to try and make it happen. We're going to try and do Bob and Ace emojis for the members only section. Again, part of me is like, how did Bob and Ace actually become so popular on this channel? Because I just used them as a prop once or twice. But who cares? We have mascots now, so let's roll with it. Y'all love Bob and Ace, so there we go. So yeah, I got to work with some of the artists. We got to figure out the specs again because it's been forever since we've done it. And we're not going to do like the best. We're just going to try and get some Bob and Ace emojis in, and as long as they look good, we'll start posting them up because I think the channel's grown, so we should be able to have more emojis available to us now. Or is it the member section that needs to grow? Anyway, but if you do want to become a YouTube member, sign up. You get special perks. You get special emojis. There's members only live streams, members only randomly where I have a thought that I want to share that may or may not be appropriate for YouTube, and I pop in and share that thought, whether it be an hour-long rant or just a 2-minute thought. I'll share it with y'all. A lot of fun. Jade, you're here. We still need a gilded link. We haven't dropped one, Jade. I'm trying to keep the boat above water. I'm doing the best I can. You were missed last week, Jade. Everyone was throwing clocks in your honor. It was really sweet. It really was. It was heart-touching. I almost didn't realize people were throwing clocks at me because it was so moving. All right. Let's see. Cool wizards, plastic skulls, and stuffed. Yeah, there you go. There you go. The creator. Hey, everyone. It's me, Edgar, a.k.a. the creator. I just wanted to say to Drake, I had a medicine journey and talked to elemental rulers, and I especially had long talks with the 4 base. Fair enough. Let's see. Hey, Jade. Though I wouldn't actually trust the anything above the first 4 because there's actually very specific things those other 5 have, and I don't. Yeah, they really wouldn't approach someone in those circumstances, creator. So I don't know what to make of that one personally. Let's see. Yeah, Jade. Yeah, I was crying. That was a little weird, but it's sweet. It's sweet. It's sweet. Good. It's good to show Jade some love. She's had a rough spot. I know we all have. Well, we all had rough spots. She's life today. Oh man. So, um, I am glad to announce that we are making steady progress on the evocation course, even if it's not as quick as I want it. We are making steady progress. Setting up the house, getting everything in order, while attempting to keep everything on time is a bit more time consuming than I had originally expected, but that's okay. We are plugging along and doing a steady pace. Um, I've got a lot of videos. Actually, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the videos we got coming up are actually very much viewer inspired. So there's that. Which is going to be nice. We have some more Dragon Magic videos coming up. We've got, actually, I have a Fae video I'm wanting to do. I need to get that one done. And one video I plan on doing, I may try to do some magical discussions on it, but there's 2 videos I've been asked to do a lot. And I've kind of postponed them because it's like, they're almost the same video, but they're not. And the magical associations would be the same. But I understand why I'm asked. So somebody wants to know how I make coffee in the French press and what my methodology is and why. Okay, I'm willing to share that. I'm willing to do a video on that. And another one is they want to know how I do coffee when I go camping and make it at the campfire, because apparently I've got a lot of people saying they've heard wondrous things about campfire coffee, but they can't quite get it right. And I would actually like to cover that one as well. So that's at least 2 coffee videos we're going to have to do, people. I did not realize you all wanted me to actually talk about coffee that much. But hey, we will talk about it. We will do those videos as well. I'll try and get those circulated out. I do plan to do the French press one first just because more people have access to it. Just easy. But we can't expect those to come out. As always, if you all do have video topics, leave them in comments below the videos and let us know. Also, be sure to share the videos with people on social media. It actually helps get things out and let people know about the channel, help people discover it. Because as far as YouTube's concerned, we are considered a small channel. To me, we feel like a big channel because I didn't even think we'd get here. You guys are amazing for that. Also, be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. But we got 17 people here, only 5 thumbs up. Get the thumbs up button, people. Lets the algorithm know you like us. You'd be surprised how much that algorithm really does help. So, Maria, I can't wait for the new videos. I'm glad, Maria. I am so glad. I am trying. It's a one-man show. It's a weird balance because I got to film YouTube, and anytime I'm filming YouTube, it takes away from filming the course. And anytime I film the course, it takes, it's just this balancing act. But yeah. But I think I've got a pretty good balance on it. So yeah. Like I say, though, I hope you all had a great weekend. I have actually just relaxed. So Saturday, I actually decided to finally set up my smoker first time since we moved, really, and do a good long smoke. I actually smoked some chuck roast. I don't know if anyone's ever smoked chuck roast on a smoker, but it is freaking divine. I would put it against brisket. In fact, I'm having a hard time deciding which one I like better, chuck roast or brisket, because there is a difference between them. Like there's people who say chuck roast is just like brisket. That no. But here's the thing. They do behave very, very much the same if you're into barbecue. Sorry, tangent. But I would say chuck has a lot more beefy flavor. The beefy really pops out there. And I kind of like that. My wife is unsure. So being the caring husband I am, always looking for an excuse, I'm going to smoke a brisket here soon so she can reach her own conclusions. Because I'm always looking for an excuse to run the smoker. Angela, I had enough time alone at home. Actually, set up a small coffee break with multiple cubs and patrons. They were happy. Hey, there you go. Nice little coffee break. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper and Jack Daniels. Oh, man. I know a lot of people drink that. It. Hey, whatever beverage you're enjoying for a coffee hour, you just enjoy it. Preferably responsibly. I have actually been drinking a lot more tea, though it's like hot brewed and then I cool it. With me working on getting back in shape and everything, which by the way, I'm down like, was it 10 or 12 pounds now? We'll go with 10. Let's take the smaller number just because. And my energy levels are just spiking, but it's so weird because like just for general hydration and to keep me away from beer and alcohol, like there's this point in the day where I need a flavor shift. Okay. You need that flavor shift that says, this is my relaxing beverage. You know what I mean? And that's usually where I'd reach for a beer or something. I've actually switched that off with unsweetened teas, chilled, because I also like a cooler beverage in the evening, not a hot beverage. So I've switched that off, and just that flavor shift has really been working. So I've been drinking a lot more tea, actually. And it's funny, me and the wife was actually going to talk about what happens if the last bit of coffee runs out before a coffee hour one Sunday. And I was like, I guess I'm going to be drinking tea for coffee hour. What can I say? So I've cut back a little on that, but I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it because I'm playing around with teas so like I'm making the tea in like a southern brewed way where it's hot brewed and then chilled. It's not necessarily cold brewed. But I'm also playing around with teas that aren't traditional. Like I've been using Earl Grey, I've been using ginger teas, I've been using green teas. I did a constant comments, just playing around with different ones. And it's amazing how different the flavor profile shifts when you brew them that way. And I'm having a lot of fun with that. The cook in me is just, it's like, let's see what this one does. Let's see what this one does. So that's been a lot of fun for me. Let's see. A Sprite and orange soda mix. Well, I've never had that mixed together, Angela. I will admit. But I don't drink a lot of soda. I haven't drank sodas in years. Like I will occasionally reach for one, and it is very rare. And usually when I reach for one, I'll be honest, it's like a Dr. Pepper or Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke and Dr. Pepper are really the two I reach for if I reach for anything. And that is so rare. Let's see. I try whatever tickles my fancy. I asked one of my matrons what would microbes. She told me elderberry and lemon balm. I went. She found that at the local grocery store, and she was right. It was delicious. It actually sounds pretty good. Not going to lie, that actually sounds pretty good. I do actually like elderberry. A lot of people say they don't like it. I like it. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That is cool. All right. Did Jane ever drop that link? No, I don't think she did. Jade, if you can, drop that gilded link. I don't think it never popped up on my screen. If it popped up on everyone else's, don't worry about it. I could just be having a major malfunction on my side. which would be typical for the coffee hour, I do believe. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Thank you, Jade. Sorry to bug you. All right. Do we have any questions or anything I can get to tonight? Because I think as far as rambling on about my general weekend, because literally it was just a relaxation weekend. Um, I pretty much sat around and chilled today up until coffee hour. I woke up, set the coffee hour up, made sure it was there so people could see it, get a little bit warning. We've had a few people forget exactly when it was, so I tried to post a little earlier, give a little more notice, a little more planning, um, and then I just chilled out. I really did. I just chilled out. Talk about the Goetia in detail. Well, that depends on what kind of details you're wanting, because like when we're discussing the Goetia, okay, there's a lot of ideals about the Goetia, and then there's the practical applications of it. So a lot of people think in order to work with the Goetia, you must follow the Samanic tradition and every single detail within the Key of Solomon. That's just it. It's like if you alter this, you can't do it. Um, and over the years, I've tested that, and I've found that to not be the case. In fact, every magician I know who works with the Goetia, only two of them actually use the Solomonic tradition, and they only use it because they like the feel and the flair and the aesthetic. They've actually even altered the incantations to not be offensive. Outside that, everyone I know does not use it. Um, that I talk to on the regular. I do know a few magicians that I won't say I'm close to them. I probably would refer to them as a colleague. Um, they do follow it to the T. Um, but by and large, I honestly never follow the Salmanic stuff. After my initial testings and everything, I actually found I get a far better result not following it. And there's a lot of theories and ideals onto why that may or may not be. Um, but so that's the first thing I would say is if you're wanting to look at the Goetia and you're wanting to work with the spirits in the Goetia, you should feel free to use a system that works well for you. Okay. Secondly, I would also remind people that these entities are not in and of themselves necessarily demons, evil, bad, negative. Pick from the stigma box because people want to throw them at these entities. These entities are most commonly traditionally referred to as spirits. Um, and many of them actually were listed very early on in many cultures as spirits, angels, even deities. So they predate the Goetia by quite a bit. So that's another thing that you should consider. Let's see what we got here. We got a bunch of stuff popping up now. If Drake isn't bugging Jade, something's wrong. I should likely find shelter. No. I always bug Jade. The Solomon method struck me as kind of rude. Yeah, it is. I mean, you're essentially threatening an entity and berating it until it does what you say. You're being a big freaking bully, is what you're doing. I've never liked it. You all know that when I work with any entity, it's on equal ground with respect. I do not bow to them. I do not ask them to bow to me. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it myself. And yeah, I've actually found all of the goetic entities to be very civil. I've never had an issue with any of them personally. Uh, can you explain how entities are able to be in multiple places at one time? Yeah. Okay, Maria. So that's actually that is a little easier than most people want to think of it. So when we think of being in one place at a time, we think of it on a physical concept. Okay, we think of it like we can only be in this room, or we can be in that room, or we can be in that room. You got to understand that entities aren't necessarily physical. and that their consciousness can reach out farther than ours. Okay. So they have a lot more skill in that. In fact, magicians with enough training can do what's called bilocation. They can actually split their consciousness into two locations and actually scry and gather information in more than one location at once. So even humans have the ability to be in more than one location. There's a few magicians I've met who've even got up to quad location. Okay. So if humans have the ability to develop their focus and their discipline to these levels, it makes perfect sense that an entity, whether it be Freya, Odin, a goetic spirit, um, any of them could easily just send their consciousness to wherever they want, potentially without limit. Potentially. I'll be honest with you, I've never personally found a limitation with an entity, though I know there are magicians and other scholars who've debated potential limitations. Many of those limitations would kind of be the excuse for like unanswered requests or unanswered prayers and those kinds of things, or that wasn't heard because the entity was already overstretched. Maybe that's a possibility. But then, a lot of magicians retaliate with, well, maybe it wasn't the entity, maybe it was you didn't get enough juice to get it to the entity. Again, maybe. So that's where it starts breaking down and getting a little more complex, obviously. But then we're also diving down that philosophical rabbit hole there, Maria, where we can't prove beyond a shadow of a doubt certain things. And that philosophical rabbit hole, honestly, we could just sit there and go round and around and around and around and around. Many of the admin have seen me debate at times. And I can pretty much use anyone's argument to just go in circles if I wanted to. I don't like to do that because I like conversations to serve a purpose. And if you're just running it in circles, you're the problem. So I don't do that. But so you have to be careful when we're talking about magic, when we're talking about entities, and you can only go so far before you have to admit it could be a philosophical difference based on tradition, based on personal viewpoints, all these different things. There comes a certain point where we just honestly, genuinely, 100% have to admit we don't know. We can't prove it. And that's one of the reasons, like, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but here on this channel, I don't say I'm going to prove magic to you. I say we're going to give you tangible results. And I tell people, try the stuff. Don't just take my word for it. Get out there, try it, apply it, see if it yields results. And most of you come back with me and tell me about your results. Are there people out there who probably didn't get results? Probably. So far, no one's emailed me. But I'm still willing to bet there are. My guess is they tried it, they applied it. Now, either they were skeptical and they went in proving it wouldn't work, in which case you're going to manifest it not working. So technically, you did manifest something, technically. Or they just didn't get the results they were looking for. The system wasn't right for them. The philosophy wasn't right for them. And hopefully they moved and they found something that fit their mentality, their philosophy that was working. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, self-empowerment and self-mastery is what I would like everyone to find, even if it's not here. So I hope that makes a little sense, Maria. I know I took your question a little over there, but hopefully it helps. My mythology teacher in high school asked us to identify the demon in the book files for extra credit. When we couldn't find it, he explained how empires took over others and deities rose. And yep. So a lot of people, here's a big beef I have. Everybody wants to blame Christianity for this practice. That's a lie. Christianity did it. Let's not be wrong. Let's not beat around that bush. But even before Christianity, it was traditional for the conquering group to either assimilate or eliminate the spiritual practice of the other people. Because if you control the thought and spirituality, you assimilate the people easier. That was just tradition. So pagans did that long before Christians. That was a basic practice. So your mythology teacher is absolutely correct. And that's one of the reasons that it can be so hard. And if you can't eliminate them, then you just demonize them. Basically, you turn the people against that belief system. Um, like I said, historically very, very common practice. And that's something we got to realize. A lot of the things that we see, don't just find your one source, trace it back as far as you can. And you will find disagreeing sources because you're going to have scholars that have disagreeing opinions on what they're finding, archaeologically, even. Um, and then, once you have a good base of information, if you're wanting to reach out and say hi to the entity and then build a personal relationship. And then really that personal relationship is the one you got to worry about because I don't remember. I remember having this conversation with Bourne. I don't remember if it was in the roundtable or not. But if you're talking to an entity, that entity is an individual, you're an individual. That means the connection between these two individuals is unique. It is individual. That means if you talk to your friend Bubba, you and Bubba is going to have a unique connection. You and your friend Joe, you're going to have an equal, independent connection. Even if they have other friends and colleagues, each connection you have with a unique person is unique. It cannot be duplicated with another person because it has two unique points creating it. The same thing works. Every person who works with Odin, it's a unique connection between them and Odin. Will there be similarities? Possibly, but it's going to be a unique connection. Are there in some cases certain rules with the way certain entities interact based upon their cultures? Yes, those are. But even still, inside those parameters, the individual connection is still unique. And that needs to be remembered. I see a lot of people get their panties in a twist just because another person's connection with an entity isn't exactly like theirs. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. That's the beauty of friendship. That's the beauty of knowing someone. It's a connection between you and a person or an entity that can't be shared. It's something so unique and individual because of the two of you. So do try to remember that. Let's see. Violet Star. I love Dragon Magic 101 and 102. Astral Evocation is something I still learn and have to get the fog first. I dedicated 4 books to Specialty Dragons and Torgra. Said hi to me. Super fun. Violet Star, so amazing to hear that. I want to ask, are you actually done with 102 or are you still working on that? I know you still say you're still working on your astral evocation, which is good, which is really good. And well, you know what? I'll pop in and tell Torgra hi. I love old Torgra. And actually, come to think about it, I need to pop in and talk to Torgra anyways, because we are starting to attempt to outline a few things for some future projects. So yeah, awesome. Mugs up to you there, Violet Star. Connie, hey Connie, glad you can make it. Let's see. Thank you, helps a lot. No problem, Maria. Let's see. Violet needs to join the guild. I blasted through it. Now I have to do the 3 days a piece visit, etc. New moon to new moon with the dragons. Okay. You blasted through it. Okay. I'd probably, yeah, it's going to, just so you know, do feel free to go ahead and go back and review some of that. Because 103 is coming, but I don't have a release date for it yet. But you will need that staff for 103. Anyone who's interested in 103, you must have that staff ready. So yeah, I would get to working on that staff. Definitely. Good luck to you on that one. That is a fun project. It can be a lot. It can be a lot. Anyone who's done it knows it's a lot. Most people don't do rituals for that extended period of time and that depth and that range of failure. So it can be a lot for a lot of people. Some people, they've done stuff like that before. Some, it'll be the first time. Either way, as a magician, I say enjoy the experience. Even hard experiences, I personally feel we should seek to enjoy because that experience is going to be a unique one. So, all right, great. Great to hear, Violet Star. Great to hear. Proud of you. Hey, everybody, give us some thumbs up, man. Or is everybody just like not hearing the redneck today? Is my mic not on, or did I get ugly? What's going on? Hit the thumbs up button. We only got 9 thumbs up tonight. What's wrong? Angela, high work, high reward. I'm currently making a doll for each of my entities, sewing energy into each stitch. So it's semi-charging. Hey, there you go, Angela. That's actually a pretty cool thing to do. That really is. Awesome. That's actually a really good use for your sewing skills. I never use my sewing skills in that method. I really don't. And part of me is like, I kind of wish I did, but then I'm like, I ain't got time to do that. Of all the other stuff that I would prioritize, if I would do it, I'd do it, but I don't do it. It comes down to how we prioritize the uses of our times and skill sets, don't it? But we got you to do it. We got you to do it. We got you to share the info, and that's amazing. So thank you. It's fun. I sew and meditate, but it's hard. But I hand hem and hand sew everything, so it's been stitch. Yep. I know a lot of people. I know a lot. I actually met a lady. She used to do her meditations while quilting, and she would do all the quilting stitches by hand. I've never quilted. I know a lot of people like coming from the South. I do a lot of quilters, and I know that's a lot of work, and hand stitching can be a lot of work. I have made things hand stitched. Um, and that is definitely a labor of love in my mind. That is one of those things that a person gets into, and um, if you enjoy it, it is just a great way to spend your time. Thanks, Angela. Thank you very much. Um, Violet looks, probably said that wrong. What does communication with dragons or deities look like for you? Is it like telepathy? Is it mentally auditory? Does it vary different types of beings? Um, yes, actually, to be a little bit of all those. So I have noticed that different entities prefer or come through with me in different ways, based on the style of entity, but the method of communication also changes based on what I'm doing. So, for example, if I'm just sitting meditating quietly, as we know, if you just do quiet meditation and you open yourself for wisdoms or insights, you're going to get anything. You are literally just waiting to have somebody spitball ideas at you. That's it. And those ideas could come in pictures. They could come in random flashes of words. They could actually come into like you hear a voice whisper the concept. They could come in any single way, and they have come throughout the years in any single way. Um, but let's say I'm meditating specifically on an entity. Then in that case, more often than not, that entity is the only thing that's coming through, and it will come through again more imagery to whisper to just like a thought popping in my mind. But at the same time, with that image, with that thought, I could almost feel the presence. Almost feel the presence. Okay, that's through like a focused meditative state. If I'm doing, let's say, work in my astral sanctum, in those cases, it is a bit more mentally auditory, if that makes sense, because your physical ears are not going to hear a non-physical entity. That's just how it is. But that they can speak clearly enough if your arcane hearing is developed enough that it's going to be really hard for you to define physical and non-physical communications. So in the case of the sanctum, that's really where it comes through there. It's less telepathy. I mean, it would technically be defined by the technical definition as telepathy because it's not a physical sound. It's going straight into your mind. But to me, it sounds as clear as that. Um, Now, I would say that would be like with Odin and Freya and most of deities I work with like that. The dragons, they go either way. Sometimes they make it very clear that it's because you're looking at them, their face is just, but they're just going like the sentences. You know, they're just putting the thought there, and it's coming out auditory. So you know that's very much a mental communication because their jaws ain't even wagging. Um, so it can happen in that instances. Of course, then when you move from, working in the astral sanctum to, let's say, evocation work. During evocation work, it's always very, very personal for me. It's gotten my evocation skills have gotten to that point when I reach that connection. Um, it if it's contact evocation, honestly, it feels like I'm on the phone with them. It really does. I can hear them that clearly. The only difference is I'd say it'd be like if you call your mom and you could feel your mom's presence while you talk to her, which many people who are empaths, they know what I'm talking about because that can happen still on the phone. So, like, I have that when I call my mom. But so it's really an awful lot like being on the phone with them with contact evocation. It's pretty much the same thing. Then you get into astral evocation. Astral evocation, whether you're using an astral sanctum or whether you're using a mirror to gaze into the astral, the entity's far closer. Now, to me, I would describe this very much as like watching this live stream or doing a Zoom call one-on-one with somebody. You can see their mannerisms. You can see them interact with you. Again, that empathetic link, that presence is there. It's not in the room with you, but it's still there. And it's just as clear as if you're having a real-time conversation. That is exactly what that would be like again for me. And then in full evocation, it's like sitting in the room and having a conversation, period. When it comes to full evocation at this point. Now, early on, rewind. The communications weren't always clear. It'd be almost like tuning a radio. Sometimes it'd come in crystal clear, like they're right there on the phone with me. Sometimes it'd dip. Same thing with astral and even full evocation. It would dip. And I had to struggle. So I had to develop that skill set to build up to where I was starting to hear so clearly. But again, like I said, the process could change it, depending on the process of communication we're using, as can the different entities. Like I've noticed that the Norse entities tend to be, weirdly, they go from very blunt to subtle. Like they'll give subtle nudges, subtle hints where they're trying to push you to learn something yourself. They're trying to, they don't want to just give you the answer. They're just, but then there's other times they're just freaking blunt. They'll beat you over the head with it. The dragons, by and large, they'll talk your ear off. Now, I would say they can be blunt, but they really can. They'll just throw you into deep into the pool at times. But they also love talking you in circles. Like they're constantly circling the answer, constantly. And they're constantly hinting at it. They're constantly trying to get you to see a new viewpoint. And you may see a dozen, 200, 300 viewpoints before finally your brain like, oh, wait, I got it. But they're going to do it. So it can differ from entity to entity in those facts too. I know that was a really long explanation, and it may or may not. I hope it answered your question there. I think I stayed on point with that, but I hope it did. Absolutely love it. Yes. What happens when I start on an entity doll or pick up the ones I already did and get settled and focused? That feel of something over the shoulder. Oh, that happened. Yeah. That connection. Yeah, over the shoulder. There's a lot of entities that love that over the shoulder connection. They really do. Like, I actually talk about this a bit in the evocation class, but there's a lot of entities. Like, I'll be evoking them. Okay, I got my spot set up. I got it. I'm wanting to do full evocation right here. They're going to be popping up right there. I'm ready to go. I'm doing the evocation, and they're like, nope, and they want to show up over here. And for the longest freaking time, that annoyed me. It really freaking annoyed me. It's like I did all this work and you're going to do that. And then a few times, like I'd even try to swirl around. And sometimes they'd be there and sometimes they'd purposely move. Pro tip, when entities are doing that, just lean with it. They're not trying to be jerks or anything. Just go with it. Just go with it. You'll get pretty good results when you do it. I had to learn to let go of my personal annoyance and just go with it. Azazel's really the one that done it the most with me. He really did. But what was funny is once I learned to let go of it and I didn't worry about it, it was at that point he'd manifest here and then walk around. I once told him, I was like, I swear to God, you do that just so you can saunter. He kind of chuckled, so he didn't confirm nor deny, but he got a chuckle out of my joke. So, hey, at least I landed the joke. That's what I'll go with. Yep. There's a lot of times I've gotten that feeling myself. It's like they're looking over your shoulder to see what you're doing and how you're doing. Kind of check your work kind of thing, kind of like a teacher. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from on that one too. Totally do. Let's see. It's actually one of the things. I actually want to tell you all this. So, like for the evocation course, like I'm shooting demos for the evocation course to give something for you to see as an actual demo of an actual evocation. No movie magic, so don't think we're going to movie magic it. But I did 2 evocations prior to the move. Okay, 2 of them, and I thought I had filmed the follow up because I do the evocation, then I'd come back and I talk about it so I can explain it more and in detail what's happened, what went wrong, all those things. Couldn't find those files, and then I'm not sure I ever filmed them. But here's the cool thing: both of those evocations that were shot prior to the move, like the manifestations of them were completely covered by the time the move was over. So when I was able to shoot the follow up, not only could I go back, watch the evocation myself to make sure I hit all the points that they talk about, but I could dive deep into how things manifested and where they manifested to kind of give examples. To me, this is just me nerding out, total omission, just me nerding out. But to have that ability to have the evocation recorded for this course, not intended, but go through over a several month period between the packing, the move, and all that crap show, and then get these tangible results to be able to point out and share and say, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. One of them was specifically dealing with me. The other was dealing with a client. That was that was so much fun to sit down and look back over it and be able to record a video where I get to take the members of the class through that review and through that realization. And I think this is just me again, but I think that's really going to add an extra oomph to the course. Because a lot of you always ask, how do we know? How do we know? What do we consider results? And sometimes it's really hard to answer that. But in this case, it wasn't hard because it's like, here's what I did for the evocation. You're there. You see the evocation. And then I'm able to come back and say, here is exactly how it manifested in color. That to me was so much fun. That really was. It's got me so hyped. I just can't explain it. Also, me and Jade was talking about a little thing. Random tangent. Whoop. There I go. We were actually talking about potentially her and I sharing some paranormal clips, talking about them here or there. She actually sent me one that I'm hoping she'll let me share. We'll see. I may actually get her to help with the video, or I may just do it myself if she's shy. I get that. But that said, I would even be open to, if you all want to send short clips to me, I might actually set something up where you can do that and we can review those. Because a lot of these things, we love paranormal, but by nature, I'm a skeptic. Y'all know that, okay? Many of y'all, Drake, check this out. And I swear to God, I see y'all, you're like, yee, and I feel like I deflate you. And I don't mean to. If I do, I apologize. You just have to understand, my brain is wired to ask questions and find any other solution. Okay? Um, that's the reason, like, when anybody asks me about aliens, I'm uber skeptical. Why anyone, when it comes to paranormal, I I'm real picky about how paranormal research is done, especially if I'm on the team, because I've seen too many people that every little wisp of dust is a ghost, and it drives me bonkers. Um, because they want to believe everything they catch is a ghost, and I'm wanting proof. So I'm kind of more on the science side, and well, I'm nowhere near the faith side, but and I feel at times, and I do apologize, that when my skepticism comes out, when I'm voicing my thoughts, and I'm honestly, if I'm voicing my thoughts to you like this, understand I'm voicing my thoughts and communicating with you to understand and actually converse. So perhaps you can bring more clarity to what I'm seeing, and perhaps I can get you to think in a larger area, and both of us may gain more out of it. That's why I do it. I never do it to tear people down. But I am known amongst my friends as the designated asshole. And it meant, well, you watch me on here, you guys, you're like, Drake, you're not an asshole. True-ish. But the way I come off sometimes in questioning, in thoughtfulness, and asking questions, I'm pretty blunt. And I think that's why everyone thinks I'm an asshole. So if you ask me a question, and if I ask for clarification questions, or if I'm skeptical or anything like that, please don't get deflated. Please don't get deflated. If I'm having the conversation with you, I like you. Okay? Period. Because by and large, I don't spend time around or answer questions with people I don't like. Life's too short for that. Really can't wait. Yeah, I know a lot of people so excited about the evocation course. I do apologize for the delays. The move has hit me a lot hard. I miscalculated how hard this move would be. Um, well, not hard. It's just time consuming to get everything done and resituate. Because, like, my brain is, I'm an internet business. This is very easy to do. All right, we got this. Woo! But the fact of the matter is, I have to be in the office. I have to be recording. I have to be doing stuff, which means unpacking, setting the house up, organizing. That stuff takes time. This takes time. And I completely, absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, dropped the ball, flubbed the time estimate on that. So my apologies. My apologies. I am working on it. And as many of you all have told me over and over and over and over, I am working steadily without hitting burnout, because many of you have worried I might overdo it. And to be honest, that's fair. That's fair. Anyone in the Gilded who's heard me talk about shenanigans, I've been prone to overdoing it basically most of my life. Um, so, A, I'm sorry for the delays. B, thank you for your understanding. And C, thank you so much for actually giving a damn and reminding me to slow down and take care of myself. Y'all have no idea how much that actually means to me and how much it actually helps. It really does. Many of y'all may think Drake don't listen to us. I actually genuinely do. You guys are sometimes some of the best self-check points I have. I'll be talking about what I'm doing, and you guys will be like, hey, Drake, when'd you sleep? Hey, Drake, when'd you take a little time? Hey, Drake. And I appreciate it. Seriously, bottom of my heart, really do. And so does my wife. My wife knows, she's seen you guys um, tie me down and make me rest. So, mugs up to y'all. Appreciate it. I get so annoyed when I watch paranormal shows where they stomp into a location and be rude of the ghost, then expect them to do something. I can understand. I mean, I understand I don't like the rudeness. I'll bet. But at the same time, there's certain situations where it's not the standard. It's a rare sliver, but I do understand provoking. in an investigation. Rarely. But I do understand it from a research perspective. But that perspective also goes against the part of me that tries to be respectful whenever possible. Now, there is those rare instances, see that rare instances, where something has happened, something that has happened that shifts us from respect is less possible. So I do understand it in those cases. But Angela, what you're talking about, I know what you're talking about because I can think of one crew. All they do is provoke. All they do is go in there and yell. They're just rude. They're rude, rude, rude. I know what you're talking about, and I don't like that. Drake is awesome. Woo! Hey, Maria, thank you. You're going to give me a big head. My hat won't fit. Then what am I going to do? Got to buy new hats. Appreciate it, Maria. Yeah, thank you much. Let's see, Angela. Thanks, Violet. Getting ready to drink a candle. Yes, you know who I mean exactly. Yep. Pretty sure I do. Actually, so I'm going to share my and my wife's over the last few months pre-move, and we just got back into it. I think we're about to run out actually. Cheesy watch. Okay. So if you go to Discovery Plus or wherever you stream, look for Finding Bigfoot. This is a Bigfoot Sasquatching hunting show. Now, I, as a person who loved cryptids, you all know we did a roundtable on Bigfoot, and I shared a lot of my thoughts. If you want to know my thoughts on Bigfoot, go check that out. I love this show for several reasons. First off, they do have a skeptic, Renee. Love Renee. And then they got it's a 4-man team, and in that team, you got the whole arc here. Like, you got the skeptic, you got the believer who is skeptical of a lot of info. Then you got this guy down here who he's the believer, like he's more prone to believe most things, but occasionally he's like, no, sorry, not a deal. And then you got this guy up here. He basically believes everything that ever happened was Bigfoot. Like, you find a down tree, couldn't have fallen over by itself. That was clearly a Bigfoot. So this show gives me everything I want. Like, I'm getting the science, I'm getting the research, and I'm getting the different viewpoints. They're interviewing people. This side of the fence, the just auto believe, kind of annoys me, but it also brings a certain set of humor because me and my wife, we like to crack jokes at the TV. And that has become our little guilty watch to kind of watch this. And it is interesting to see some of the stuff they found, some of the theories that they and the community talk about. So if you're interested in something that we won't say super clean science, but it's also not just dull and boring, can have a little bit of everything in there, and you're interested in Bigfoot or Sasquatch, give that a watch. You might actually find it entertaining. Like I said, I have my own issues because, belief first before facts kind of bothers me. But I like how they do have a skeptic on there. I find the drink method works so well. Coffee and candle, maybe some cards, and just relax. State works so well for me. There you go. You should not underestimate the ability to offer someone a drink and just spend a little time. You really shouldn't. There used to be a show called Animal X and a show called Twisted Tales that went into urban lore of animals and spirits. Those I've not seen. I might actually have to see if I can find those anywhere because we usually try to find something paranormal, something murder mystery, or we're on Food Network, weirdly. So it's like we're either watching creepy stuff or food. We're kind of boring people. but at the same time, like we love documentaries and stuff like that. So yeah, I will definitely look into those. I'll see if we can't dig those up. Like another one of our go-tos, if anyone doesn't watch it, check out Josh Gates, Expedition Unknown, Expedition Discovery. I love his stuff. He does a really great job with archaeology, and he makes it fun. Um, and he could be somebody with worse luck than me. He really could. I actually saw an episode once where a dude got in a plane and the freaking roof just came off the plane. That was a nope for me. I don't like flying, so the fact that that still messes with me. But yeah, check it out. How'd we get here? It don't matter. We got here. It's all good. All good in the neighborhood. All right, everyone. Jade is officially throwing clocks at me. Jade, it is great to have you back again and have you throwing the clocks. Everyone, you have a fantastic week. If there is a cryptid you would like us to do on the roundtable and discuss, put it in the comments below this video. Please, 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 please put it in the comments. If it's one we already have wrote down, every time it's mentioned, it's going to go closer to the top of the list. If it's not one we have wrote down, it's going to go on the list. Okay. So even if someone else says it, put the cryptid you want to see in the comments, because that means you'll get to see it sooner. See how that works? All right. All right, everyone, you have a fantastic week. Continue doing what you're doing. Continue moving forward. Continue working on that self-mastery. Continue working on your self-empowerment. Remember, if you fall down, that's okay. Get back up, dust yourself off, keep on going forward. Forward is better than nothing. And nothing is just that. It's nothing. And the only one who gets to choose the difference is you. Don't let anyone else slow you down. Got it? All right, everyone, you have a fantastic week. I'm going to hop off here and go bug my wife for the rest of the evening because it's back to work tomorrow. All right, take care and good night. Bye-bye.